Hello YouTube, my name is Shiffo and welcome to my channel. If you were actually holding GME stock above $100, it was not about investing into the gaming business, into Gamestop, but it was about the gamma short squeeze. It was about the battle between retail investors and big hedge funds. Unfortunately, the window of the gamma short squeeze has been stopped by Vlad, the stock impaler. Robinhood actually stopped the buying side from the GME trade because of the clearing issues, which I mentioned in other podcasts. In this video, I will present to you 3 other opportunities to invest in the gaming business. I will cover my bullish thesis for 3 of these companies, and you will need to pick the bullish thesis in which you personally are believing in. And as a bonus, I will also cover the latest news in the recent earnings report released by all of these companies. So let's dive into it. Alright, so the first stock that I want to cover is Sony. Sony is the owner of the PlayStation brand, which has seen insane demand for the last couple of months. If you were able to buy a PS5, you're actually lucky to have one right now. Sony actually has other businesses beside their gaming business, but for this video I will only focus on the gaming business, which is the PlayStation brand. The reason why you should invest in Sony is because Sony is actually the only company that's fully dedicated to producing next generation titles. They have stated clearly that they just want to focus on creating more immersive experience towards the gamers. So more immersive could either be through PlayStation VR or with their next generation PlayStation 5 with additional hardware like the new controllers. One important thing for the moat of Sony is that they're actually actively acquiring first party studios. So the biggest part of their revenue and their income is actually coming from selling all of these first party titles. With their latest hit actually being Spider-Man Miles Morales, which has sold 4 million units in the first month of release. So the latest quarter for Sony has been amazing. They have been able to sell 4.5 million PlayStation 5s, and they would be able to sell more if there wasn't this shortage of chips right now in the market. Sony is going on a tear right now, and I expect this to continue. I expect that in the future they will continue to acquire these first party studios, acquiring more software titles, which is bringing in the money. Right now I've been covering the gaming business for more than a year, and what I notice is the following thing happening in the gaming industry. I noticed that all of the big publishers are actually focusing on the mobile market right now. So Sony is actually in the position to be fully dedicated to producing AAA experiences for the consoles. In the meantime, what I'm actually seeing is that companies like Activision Blizzard or even Square Enix are only focusing on developing mobile titles. And on top of that, what I'm actually noticing is that all of the developers are actually leaving companies like Activision Blizzard, and eventually their talent is actually drying up to produce AAA gaming experiences. So if you believe that Sony is going to be that big fish that acquires all of the gaming studios dedicated to developing console games, I suggest you should invest in Sony. Alright, so the next stock that I want to cover is Nintendo. Nintendo actually had some pretty rough years. The stock was beating down at the launch of the Wii U. The Wii U was doing terrible. The stock price got hammered and it was looking very awful with the company actually reporting losses for several years. Nintendo, however, has been a recovery success story, with the Nintendo Switch selling like crazy right now. The Nintendo Switch has sold over 80 million units and it's going on a tear. My bullish thesis behind Nintendo is that this is actually the Disney, that Nintendo is actually the Disney of gaming. Nintendo is actually the owner of so many fantastic IP and brands, it's really amazing. Nintendo is actually the owner of fantastic IP like Zelda, Mario Kart and Mario. It's really amazing. And despite being the Disney of gaming, what I find really attractive about Nintendo is that they're the only gaming company that's all about innovation. Nintendo is always innovating and is always trying something out different compared to the rest of the industry. And what you actually notice is that the remaining part of the gaming industry tries to follow what Nintendo is actually doing. Just look at the D-pad, which was created by Nintendo. So if we look at the latest earnings report of Nintendo, it was actually insane. They're actually up on net income year over year of plus 92%, which is insane. I thought that demand for the Nintendo Switch would actually fall with the release of the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, but I could not have been more wrong. I still believe that Nintendo will outperform like crazy, and their biggest success from 2020 were actually the sales coming from Animal Crossing. So Animal Crossing sold over 30 million units and became the number 2 game and became the number 2 best sold game of Nintendo. These numbers really are insane. And what you see is that Animal Crossing is actually bringing in a lot of new gamers towards the Nintendo Switch, which is actually including females and casual gamers. So if you believe in a Disney type brand, if you believe in innovation, you need to invest in Nintendo. Alright, so for my final stock, I want to talk about Microsoft. Microsoft owns the Xbox platform and is actually the stock with the smallest gaming business compared to the other two, with a run rate of 10 billion per year. But I believe that right now, Microsoft is actually at the point where they are starting to transform their gaming business into something very big and on a massive scale. This all has to do with the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, taking the reins of Microsoft. Satya Nadella was actually responsible for building out the whole cloud infrastructure on which Microsoft Azure is actually running right now. And this right now is eventually translating towards gaming. So the vision that he and Phil Spencer are building is actually creating the Netflix of gaming. So in my opinion, there's actually a very huge opportunity over here. There are a couple of companies right now that are entering the streaming space of gaming, like for example Google Stadia or even Nvidia with GeForce Now. But Microsoft actually has the only subscription service that includes first-party titles of the gaming studios that they actually own. So you see right now that Microsoft is executing this wonderful strategy where they're just busy acquiring gaming studios after gaming studios, with the biggest acquisition in gaming made when they bought ZeniMax Studios. Microsoft is actually targeting the mobile market. What they don't want to do is focus on developing mobile games, but they actually want to bring AAA console games to the mobile market, and that's what's really huge and amazing to me. They want to make sure that you can just stream an Xbox One game to your mobile phone. And to do this, you have this very cheap subscription model where you just pay $10 or $15 per month and you can play all of these amazing games, including the first party titles at launch. The value provided by Microsoft is insane. I believe that Microsoft will be focusing on acquiring more companies and expanding the library of the Xbox Game Pass. If you want to invest in the Netflix of gaming, you should invest in Microsoft. Microsoft was aiming to get over 2 billion of people onto the Xbox Game Pass service. So to track this, the most important thing that we need to track in their quarterly earnings report is the number of Xbox Game Pass subscribers. As of their latest earnings report, they have 80 million of Xbox Game Pass subscribers. This was the last quarter 50 million, so they have over 20% of growth in the Xbox Game Pass subscriber number. I'm keeping a close eye on this metric because this is the most important metric in the gaming business of Microsoft. If you want to invest in the Netflix of gaming, you need to invest in Microsoft. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you gained a lot of value from this. And if you like this video, don't forget to press on the like button. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, bye.